Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. To us, OC stands for our community because we believe that our community is stronger when we come together. That's why we thank you for joining us each Tuesday evening on channel 56.10 and on Wednesday morning. This is a bilingual English and Vietnamese program dedicated to educating, empowering, and inspiring our community. And on our show today, we have HUGH, the Orange County Clerk, to talk about the great services that they provide and a special Valentine's Day program. Julie Yip kính chào quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV trong chương trình Kiến thức, Y khoa, Gia đình và Xã hội. Đó là chương trình OC Health and Education. Chương trình đây là chương trình song ngữ. Julie hy vọng quý vị có thời gian gặp với Julie mỗi tuần thứ ba lúc 7 giờ tối trên đài 56.10 Little Saigon TV. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với HUGH, đó là chánh luật sư của thành phố của Orange County. Hugh, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, Julie. It's an honor to be here. You know, I've always loved to talk to the community about our service and what we do.
Yes.
And our office is very important. We do a lot of services for the community. And so it's an honor to be here today.
You know, when I started this show, we're doing a bilingual English program, English and Vietnamese, because, you know, I really want to make sure that we reach out to the different generations of Vietnamese Americans, those who speak English and those who speak Vietnamese fluently. Right. Now, do you speak Vietnamese, Hugh?
Yeah, I do speak Vietnamese. Hugh nói tiếng Việt Nam được một chút thôi. But yeah, nên Hugh có lúc nói chuyện với quý vị á, mà trong TV show của Hugh là nói chuyện về cái office của Hugh. So I do try my best to speak Vietnamese when I'm in the community.
Tại nhiều lúc Julie gặp Hugh ở ngoài, Julie không có biết Hugh có nói tiếng Việt hay không, so Julie nói tiếng Anh mãi, you know. And hôm nay Julie có thời gian gặp anh Hugh nói chuyện chi tiết thêm về cái công việc của anh. Mà trước khi mình nói về cái công việc của Orange County Clerk Recorder á, thì anh nói thêm về cái công việc của anh là gì, về cái lịch sử của gia đình, làm sao anh qua Mỹ.
Yeah, I came over to America when I was 7.5, and I was born in Vietnam, Nha Trang. That's where I was born. And my dad was an American soldier, and my mom is Vietnamese, of course. And back in the days when my mom was pregnant with me, she went to look for my dad, and they said he died. So growing up for 50 years, now I'm 55, but 50 years later, I didn't have a father. So sống ở Việt Nam là Hugh có ông ngoại với bà ngoại, and my aunts who raised me, because my mom was young, she wasn't as mature, and so bà ngoại với ông ngoại nuôi Hugh. And then toward the end of the war,
mà sống lớn lên thì mình không có biết là ba còn sống hả?
Yeah, chưa biết. I didn't know because we were told he passed. So growing up, I never really thought about it. So in 1975, right toward the end of the war, my grandparents gave me up for Operation Baby Lift.
Okay.
It was a program that the Americans were doing where children can come over and get adopted. So me and my sister were given to this program. But thank God, 2 days later, my aunt, I guess, bà ngoại bà nói bà nhớ mấy tụi em á, she came and got us back. And later that day, the plane crashed in a rice field.
Wow.
So history shows that over 110 children died. And I'm so blessed that, and I thank God I wasn't on that plane. So then a month later, my aunt who worked at the American Embassy, they allowed her to bring her family. And so it was my 3 aunts, my grandma and grandfather, and myself and my sister. So they picked us up and we went to the airport, Tân Sơn Nhất Airport. I remember bits and pieces.
Wow.
And when we got there, it was so chaotic. I'll never forget people trying to climb on the bus, climbing over the wall, because they thought that was freedom inside that airport. And so when we got inside there, later during the day, the runway got bombed. So now we got stuck. We're stuck in the airport, nowhere to go. And so I remember we spent the night, I seen planes being shot down and shooting around us, and soldiers getting injured. And the next morning, which we found out many years later, nó gọi là Operation Frequent Wind. So it was rescued by helicopter. So our family and 3,073 refugees were rescued by helicopter ở Tân Sơn Nhất
lúc mà
Airport.
gia đình của anh từ Việt Nam qua Mỹ đây là có rất nhiều cái khó khăn về cũng mà có cái nhiều may mắn.
Yeah, you know what? I feel lucky because now that we didn't have a way out, now the helicopter came. So family của HUGH, we were rescued by helicopter. We landed on the USS Midway. Cái ship mà ở San Diego. Without that ship, I wouldn't be here. So I'm blessed. That ship came, and then from there we went to the Philippines, to Guam, and then El Toro base, and then we went to Camp Pendleton, just like over 50,000 refugees from our community all over the world, that have lived here or have moved away. We were at Camp Pendleton, and we were there, our family, for 3 months, Julie. So, and then September, I'll never forget, Labor Day weekend, our family was sponsored by a church. Nó gọi là Grace Lutheran Church, but in El Centro, California.
Wow.
So, you know what? It was great. I remember going to El Centro. We're the first Vietnamese family ever to live in El Centro. And I went to 4th grade, my first year. Didn't speak English at all, zero. So, I went through ESL classes. And I still remember the school, McKinley Elementary in El Centro. And a lot of people don't know where El Centro is. El Centro là gần Mexicali, Imperial. It's far from here. So, but our family, we were so blessed. Like you said, we made it to America and we were free. And the church group was really nice to us. They took good care of us.
So during this whole ordeal, gia đình của anh cũng vẫn được ở gần ở nhau chung sao? You were never divided.
No,
right?
we always stayed together.
Okay.
And I always think about my aunts. One of my aunt, the one that worked at the American Embassy, she was an amazing woman. I don't know how she did it, taking care of all 7 of us. She started working at a school to tutor, and also she worked at JCPenney back then. And my other aunt, they worked at Motel 6 and sewing. They had to do what they had to do to take care of us.
Yeah.
And so my sister and I, all we had to do was go to school. And my grandma and grandpa were older, so they took care of us and cooked for us.
Yeah.
So it was a great experience living in El Centro, 4 năm. And then in '79, my aunt, who finally said, "Okay, I don't think there's going to be any career path here for you and your sister," so she got a job in Orange County, and we moved to Orange County in 1979.
So you lived there ever since? You live here ever since?
Ever since, yeah.
Okay.
So that's our first year here in Orange County. And so I went to school at Lamson Elementary, 5th grade. And then I always been in Santa Ana. I went to McFadden and Saddleback, graduated from there. And that's how we came over. And
so how did you keep your language and your culture in all this transition coming to America? Because nhiều lúc mà nhỏ lớn lên ở Mỹ, Julie lớn lên, Julie nói, I'm kind of embarrassed being Asian. Or không muốn nói tiếng Việt Nam, and không có muốn giữ cái văn hóa người Việt Nam. Ở nhà anh, lúc mà bà nội hay bà ngoại hướng dẫn anh, nuôi anh, when they raised you, did they keep the language at home?
Yes.
How did they do that with you?
Yeah, when we're at home, my grandma and grandpa nói tiếng Việt Nam, so I have no option. Tại phải nói tiếng Việt Nam, especially if I want to eat, right? I have to talk Vietnamese, no. But no, they spoke Vietnamese, and so I'm so glad and blessed that I was able to learn Vietnamese, even though my Vietnamese is not as good. But tại vì Hiếu không có nói chuyện tiếng Việt Nam mỗi ngày.
Không có tiếp xúc.
Yeah, we don't talk every day, đúng không, Julie? And so, now, ông ngoại với bà ngoại không có ở đây nữa. They have passed on. And so I talk to my aunts when I see her in Vietnamese. If I'm in the community, I try to speak Vietnamese to our community. But that's how I'm just glad I know Vietnamese. And I'm so glad, I'm a Vietnamese American.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you're here today because, a lot of people, they don't know your background. Nhiều người gặp Hiếu đâu có biết là Hiếu là từ Việt Nam qua, hay cái lịch sử của gia đình làm sao mình có nhiều cái khó khăn mà vớt được mà được tới được nước Mỹ đây. Bây giờ mình ở quận Cam thì anh Julie thấy là anh Hiếu làm rất nhiều việc trong cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình. So what is some of the pride or some of the joy you have in serving the Orange County community and specifically the Vietnamese community?
Yeah, what I'm proud about is I started my career when I was 26. Oh, wow. And so this is my 29th year. So I just turned 55. And you know, just to start from the bottom, and Hugh làm từ ở dưới đây, and to work my way up to becoming the first Vietnamese American elected clerk recorder in the country.
Wow.
I'm proud of that accomplishment because I worked so hard through my office to become successful, right? And so, and what I love about our community is from day one, community của mình very supportive of Hugh.
Okay.
And,
sau phần quảng cáo sau phần quảng cáo chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với anh Hiếu nha. Anh nói hiểu chi tiết thêm về công việc của anh. Một lần nữa Julie muốn cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Hôm nay mình có một cái thời gian rất đặc biệt để cho gặp được nói chuyện với anh Hiếu, hiểu về cái lịch sử của anh và làm sao anh có cái niềm thương cho cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình. Sau phần quảng cáo chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với anh Hiếu Nguyễn. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show. I'm your host, Julie Yip. Today on the show, we have HUGH, the Orange County Clerk Recorder, to talk about his journey from Vietnam to America and also how he became the Orange County Clerk Recorder. And I think you're on your third term, is that right?
That's right, Julie.
Now, so tell me, I mean, we got a little bit background history about who you are, your family history. I want to know more about, you know, how did you become the Orange County Clerk Recorder? Because, you know, as Vietnamese Americans, they always tell us become doctors and lawyers and engineers. Phải không? Thì gia đình Việt Nam của mình luôn luôn khuyến khích là mình phải học làm thành bác sĩ, là kỹ sư và vân vân. Tại sao anh làm cái Orange County Clerk Recorder?
Yeah, you know it, Julie, Hugh bắt đầu làm county in 1994. So I was young, I got married young, and I was working at the Daily Journal newspaper, làm newspaper, rồi Hugh vào trong cái clerk recorder office every day. And to get people's names so I can get them to publish with us, làm publication với mình đó. So Hugh lại đó mỗi ngày rồi gặp mấy county employee. So one day, cái ông mà là hồi trước giống của Hugh á, là tên là Gary Granville, he offered me a job. Ông nói là, you know, people, all my staff like you, and now I want you to join my team.
So he recruited you.
So he recruited me. So that's how I started my career with the clerk recorder. And you know what? Back then, a job with the county was good.
Okay.
Hugh, lúc đó vẫn đi học. I went to Orange Coast College for my AA. But, you know, I started focusing on my job more, Julie.
Oh, okay. Mà sau Orange Coast College có phải đi học bằng gì được? Đi university nào thêm không?
No, I ended up, Hugh đi học ở đó, and then I transferred to Santa Ana College just to do a management certificate. So I just started working. And start from the bottom, and Hugh just worked my way up to becoming hồi trước làm là document examining, rồi xong vậy là supervisor, and then I became a manager for the clerk recorder. And so that was 94 till 2002. Rồi by then my former boss, ông passed away. Nên Hugh làm đó 4 năm nữa. Rồi xong 2006 Hugh got big promotion ở Orange County Clerk of the Board, là chỗ mà làm mấy người assist cho board supervisor. So I went over there, là Hugh làm đó 7 năm, 7 years. And I learned a lot, tại vì biết cách làm county budget, or finance, or business plan, biết mấy cái đó hết.
Mà hiểu hết.
Yeah, hiểu hết. Tại vì Hugh chỉ ở clerk recorder là không có biết mấy cái đó. So what happened was 2010 là Hugh run first election. Tại vì my former boss, ông Tom Daly, ông thắng, ông run for supervisor. Mà lúc mà thắng last month, Julie, ông không có run nữa. So now I'm stuck running against my former boss. So that's how.
But lúc đó có đạt không? Did you win that election?
No.
Okay.
So it was bad experience because it's hard to beat an incumbent. And we knew. Mấy tụi em biết rồi. But we did to get my name out there. And we got beat pretty bad. It was he beat me pretty bad.
But then you follow up with 3 consecutive.
Yeah. So after that, Julie, after ông Tom Day, ông thắng cái clerk recorder, I was enjoying my job at clerk of the board, đúng không? And then ông thắng assembly. So lúc đó còn 1 năm rưỡi nữa là the board of supervisor, người ta phải appoint somebody. So 9 người applied, 900. Rồi xong rồi vậy 12 người interview với Board of Supervisor.
Wow.
So on April 3rd, 2013, the Board of Supervisor nominated me. Matter of fact, Janet Nguyen nominated me. And then everybody voted, and HUGH, I became the interim clerk recorder. So that's how I started at the clerk recorder as that position. Rồi xong như vậy, 2014 was my first official election.
Wow.
Well, my second, because I lost the first one. So then I won 2014, and then 2018 làm re-election thắng nữa.
Wow.
Ở đây, last year, I just won my, election now 2022, đúng không? And so, you know what, I'm so proud. I thank the community. I know they are very proud, and they're very supportive, and they give me so much love and support, and I appreciate it.
Because a lot of times when we hear like election, we're thinking that, it's a politician, but your job, there's a lot of hands-on work.
Right.
So tell me, what is required to become a clerk recorder, or what kind of your day-to-day look like?
Yeah, you know what, you're right, Julie. Even though my office is elected, I don't look at it as a political office.
Right.
For me, it's more about, tại vì HUGH có experience làm ở đó nhiều quá. So I know what to do to serve the public and make our office better. And that's what I love about my job. It's because of my experience, đúng không? And so we do a lot of important stuff. We issue birth, death, and marriage certificates. So quý vị mà đẻ ở Orange County là mình có birth certificate. Mà chết ở Orange County là we have their death certificate.
Right.
Or get married in Orange County, we have your marriage certificate.
I got married at the Santa Ana courthouse.
That's right.
On March 11th. And next month would be our 20-year anniversary.
Wow, that's awesome.
And then the funny thing is, when my husband and we went in there to do our certificate, we didn't know you could get married the same day.
Yeah.
So they said, do you want to get married? And we looked at each other like, okay, I guess we're doing it today. And I think that's kind of funny for us, because we take pride that we were just in our lay clothes and we weren't even dressed up. We were mid-20s, I believe we were. And I think that's one thing about it, is that the Santa Ana, courthouse to us becomes kind of like something memorable and something enjoyable. I know for Valentine's Day, you guys have extended hours. And you also mentioned that certain times, like certain people are fascinated by the trends. And so what does that look like with Valentine's and marriage?
Yeah, just to go back for marriages, so that way our viewer can understand how it works. And what you said, Julie, when you came and got married. So when you mà vào office của HUGH, mà muốn lấy license thì you can get a license, đúng không?
Right.
For 90 days. So you can go out and have a minister, a priest, or somebody perform the ceremony. Xong như vậy phải gửi cái license lại. So you have 90 days from the day you come in to get your license to get married, and then send it back to us.
Right.
So cái đó là one option. Option two, like what you did, Julie, was vào trong đó lấy marriage license. And then my staff, because I'm the deputy commissioner of marriage for the whole county. And so my staff are all deputized. Rồi đó làm civil, not religion, civil ceremony. So at that moment, you can get your license, get married.
On the same day.
And it's done, same day. And so that's the two options you can do in Orange County for marriages. And what I love about our service for marriages is we have the lowest cost for a marriage license. Public có 61 đồng à. And then ceremony có 28 đồng à. So it's very cheap, right? And so also, what I love about our services, if you were to get your license, Julie, and then get married with us, you can pay at that moment, and we'll mail you your marriage license, right? So you don't have to come back or call us, because you need that marriage license. A lot of people need it to change their names for insurance or DMV. It all depends on their needs. So we make it easy, and our service is phenomenal. And so for Valentine, every Valentine, it's very busy for us. Valentine office của HUGH là the busiest day of the year. The reason is, it's a very romantic day, loving day. People enjoy getting married on Valentine. And so every year since I've been there, HUGH extend the hours, because nhiều người ta đi làm.
What's a normal hour?
Normal hour ở our main office, Oak County Courthouse, là 8 giờ tới 4 rưỡi.
Okay.
But our branch offices, that HUGH office ở Anaheim and Laguna Hills, cái đó là từ 9 giờ tới 4 rưỡi.
Okay.
And so HUGH extend hours for Valentine tại vì người ta đi học,
Thì
người ta
tới
đi
mấy giờ
làm.
đóng?
Yeah.
Anh mở tới mấy giờ?
Tới 6 giờ.
Oh,
so
okay.
on Valentine we extend it to 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And it helps a lot of people who have to get off work or go to school and come to us.
Now, is there a line that forms, or how does that work? Or is it an appointment?
Yeah.
We don't understand how that
Yeah,
works.
so people can, customers can actually go on my website, ocrecorder.com,
Okay.
and make an appointment. So appointment is, you can make an appointment, or walk-ins are always welcome. We will always be there to help.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Anh HUGH, for the information, because I know that, it's been almost 20 years for me. So I didn't remember all the details, but thank you for reminding us, for those of us, those in the community who's
Right.
interested in getting married soon or want to make a seamless effort to come here. And you said the process is very easy and you take care of everybody.
Yeah, the process is simple. Our staff,
Okay.
my staff, they do amazing work. I have the best staff in the county, in my opinion. And so we make it very fun that day and make it very memorable for the couple, right? And so, yeah, anytime you come. And you know what, Julie? Nhiều người ta vào ngày đó, Valentine, they dress really nice. They have wedding dress on. They have different theme of outfit that they like to wear. And so it's really fun on Valentine's Day. I love Valentine's Day.
Well, thank you so much, HUGH, for the information and the updates for the community. Julie, một lần nữa muốn cảm ơn anh HUGH Nguyễn, đó là chánh luật sư của thành phố Orange County. Chừng nào quý vị muốn hiểu thêm về cái chương trình, đó website là một lần nữa là OCCLERK.com, số điện thoại là 714-834-2500. Anh HUGH nói đó là chừng nào quý vị muốn walk in cũng được, là chừng nào mình không có lấy hẹn, mình muốn tới cái lúc nào cũng được thì họ sẽ tiếp xúc cho quý vị. Cái giờ lúc là bình thường là 8 giờ tới 4 giờ rưỡi. But then trong cái Valentine's Day, về trong cái mùa này thì họ extend cái tiếng văn phòng là tới 6 giờ tối. Cho nhiều lúc mình đi làm, mình có đi học thì sometimes không có đủ giờ lúc để cho tới trước khi họ đóng cửa tới 4 giờ. Thì một lần nữa Julie muốn cảm ơn anh HUGH về cái team của anh HUGH để giúp cho cộng đồng của mình. Cảm ơn quý vị. Sau phần quảng cáo chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với anh HUGH Nguyễn.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714-898-0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show. I'm your host, Julie Yip. We're going to continue our conversation with the Orange County Clerk Recorder, HUGH NGUYEN. We were learning about all the great Valentine's programs that you have, but I'm sure outside of the marriage certificates, there are many other services that you and your staff provide. Can you tell me a few of those things?
Sure, yeah. Our office, we provide a lot of services. So we also file fictitious business name,
yes.
doing business as DBA. And so business owners, we make it easy. They can come in and they can actually file it with us. And once you file a fictitious business name, we have to publish with an adjudicated newspaper for 4 consecutive weeks. But also, I want to let the community know for FBNs, if you're renewing your FBN, Office của HUGH hay gửi cái giấy notification to let you know that your FBN is expiring. So we give a notification 60 days, so that way our customer can come back and file their FBN. And so also we have service notary. So Julie, if you want to become a notary, you bring your bond to our office and we swear you in, you become a notary.
Oh, okay.
And then process server, a lot of them come in. And also we provide OR copies of real property documents. And then of course we issue marriage license and we perform marriage ceremony. But we also, a lot of people don't know our community is mình làm passport. Mà HUGH office của HUGH chỉ làm passport, new passport. Mấy cái new thôi, không có làm renewal.
Okay.
And then also we take passport photos. And I believe we have the lowest passport photos costs in the whole county. Có 7 đồng à. And so I work very hard to create a new program and automation and technology so mình lower cái price được. nên có 7 đồng mà làm passport.
Tại vì anh Hiếu nói tiếng Anh á, là trước nhất á, là cái FBN là fictitious business name. Lúc mà mình làm ăn, mình mở tiệm thì mình phải cần cái tên đó phải không?
Đúng rồi, Julie.
Okay.
Yeah, cái đó là phải file cái đó.
Okay, and then anh nói thật trước là cái FBN, thêm nữa cái notary. So lúc nào mình mới cần cái người notary?
Notary, nhiều người, mấy người làm notary là người ta usually they sign for a signature, and so if you're buying a property, Julie,
dạ vâng.
You go to a notary and they voucher your signature.
Phải có cái người giống như chứng nhận là đó là cái
đúng rồi, cái signature của mình. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. And then thêm nữa, what's the other one that you said about some property?
Yeah, real property recordings.
Okay.
So anything that deals with real property in Orange County, you have to go to my office.
Mà lúc nào mà người nào mới cần cái real property?
So when you buy a house,
okay,
lúc mà mấy người ta mua nhà là người ta phải record cái grant deed với cái deed of trust, right? So usually mua nhà đó là title company they take care for you.
Dạ vâng.
So dễ hơn, rồi người ta record với office của HUGH. Or sometimes people lúc người ta trả nhà xong rồi á, they record a full reconveyance or subs and recons. But Julie, anything that deals with real property, abstract of judgment, liens, anything that deals with real property have to be recorded in my office.
Okay.
And so I'm proud of the service of recording we do. Tại vì office của HUGH là the first in the country to do electronic recording. So I'll tell you why electronic recording tại vì so important, Julie. In 1998, we were the first in the country to do electronic recording.
Wow.
So what that means is mấy người title company hồi trước người ta đem nhiều giấy vào lắm office của HUGH.
Yeah,
bây giờ they can record online through a dedicated system, right? It's not like not everybody can just go on. Tại vì office của HUGH, we work with the Department of Justice,
right?
And we make sure mấy người mà người ta record document của office của HUGH, they get their finger scanned, they get live scan. We issue them tokens, so it's very secure.
Okay.
So we want to make sure we protect the community and our public from fraud, đúng không?
Right.
So I'm proud of that service. And then also something very important. Anytime mà có document mà real property mà record của office của HUGH, như là a transfer like a deed of trust or a grant deed, mấy cái đó là we send out a courtesy notice, Julie, immediately when something is recorded that deals with transfer.
Okay.
The reason why it's so important is if I send you a letter, Julie, that shows that something recorded on your property,
right?
And if it's not you, right, it's an early alert to let you know that something's going on.
Yes.
So at that moment, we work with the district attorney office for the fraud unit. So then our customer, người ta gọi the DA officer, and then they can start opening up an investigation. And it's so important to protect fraud, especially for our senior community.
Yes.
It's so important for me to make sure that is in play. And so office của HUGH, we take a lot of pride on that. And another thing I think is so important.
So văn phòng của anh Hiếu là bảo trợ cho mấy người cao niên nữa, cho họ khỏi bị fraud, giống như cái người giống như dụ hay gì làm giấy tờ.
Yeah,
phải
so
không?
yeah, we put some systems in.
Okay.
Like I was telling you, Julie, is lúc mà cái gì mà record mình gửi cái notification for you. So it's very important because if it's not you, you contact us, đúng không? And so
văn phòng của anh với cái staff của anh bảo trợ cái sở an toàn cho con nòng của mình.
Yeah, we send out letters. Yeah. And then another important thing is office không có mail carryover. So Julie mà gửi cái gì vào cho office của HUGH mà recorder, you like, let's say you pay off your house,
right,
and you send in a full reconveyance. We record it the same day we receive it. Không có mail carryover. The reason why it's important, Julie, is so we're so current, then fraud khó hơn. So we notify it right away. And I think that's very important for us for recording. And not only that, Julie, we have the lowest recording fees. Get lowest recording fees in the whole country.
Wow.
In the state.
How do you keep it lower than everybody?
Tại vì, I think, my opinion, 3 reasons. One, automation, efficiency, and good staff, right? I have a lot of senior staff làm đó lâu rồi. And especially automation is very important. It makes our process easier, and it keeps our costs down. So that's how we do it.
Well, I'm so glad that you're able to do that there. Now, so what do you enjoy as far as interacting with your staff? How do you maintain that relationship and that respect for them to have such a good program for the community?
Yeah, I think because I started from the bottom, Julie. I'll be honest with you.
So you really know what they're going through.
I'm a people person, and I'm very friendly, and I treat my staff like family. I want to have that personal connection to them. Just because I'm elected or I'm a department head, I don't make anybody feel less. So mỗi lần Hugh lại sợ, I talk to all my staff. I know their families. I know their what they do, and we have a very personal family atmosphere in my office, and that's why I love my job so much, Julie. It's because it's like family, and I want to make sure they feel good.
It sounds like a very healthy and very respectful work environment.
Absolutely.
I think that's kind of why you're able to be more efficient. And I think, you know, when a staff enjoys their job, they perform better.
You're absolutely right, Julie. And that's important for us.
Yeah.
And not only for me, I want to make sure my management team understands that.
Okay.
They have to treat our staff fairly and treat them well. Because, you know, at the end of the day, we're all, you know, co-workers, right?
Yes.
And so that's how I like to perform and get along with everybody. But you're right, Julie. If they're happy, they're going to perform better for you.
Right, right. Well, I think you're creating such a good work-life experience and you know, balance for your staff too. You know, because a lot of times, you know, it tells us a lot as, you know, consumers. When we walk in a place and we know that's a healthy work environment, the staff is very different. So I think today, in addition to you sharing about, you know, what you do as an Orange County Clerk Recorder, you're also modeling to a lot of us who are business owners on how to have a more efficient and more, you know, productive workforce.
Yeah, but you're right, Julie, because it shows because staff ko HUGH, they treat the customer with great respect, right?
Yeah.
They love what they do, and it shows when the customer come in. That's important for me, is we have the best service, we treat the customer the best, and our rating for performance for helping customer, Julie, is almost at 98%.
Wow,
So
that's
I'm proud of our staff, and if they work at the Clerk Recorder, they have to be friendly and helpful to our customer.
Okay. Well, after the commercial break, we're going to continue our conversation. Một lần nữa, Julie muốn cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Hôm nay Julie học rất nhiều về Orange County Clerk Recorder. Trước đó, Julie chỉ nhớ gặp anh Hiếu ở ngoài trong cộng đồng Việt Nam có lúc mình làm công việc, bắt tay nhiều. Mà thiệt ra hôm nay mình có một cái thời gian rất là đặc biệt, ngồi xuống nói thêm, hỏi hiểu chi tiết thêm về công việc của ảnh. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Sau phần quảng cáo, chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với anh Hiếu NGUYEN, đó là Chánh luật sư của Orange County.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. In this segment, we're going to talk about all the innovation, all the great idea that HUGH has for the Orange County Clerk as a clerk recorder. HUGH, you know, you seem like you're very creative. You're always finding new ways to help the community and to maximize the taxpayer money. So I know during the commercial break, we're talking about staffing and kind of some of the things that you've been doing. So Julie thấy đó là anh Hiếu rất có nhiều cái idea, cái ý kiến mới để cho là giúp cho cộng đồng của mình làm sao mình giảm cái chi phí để cho là làm cho cái văn phòng của anh. Thì anh nói thêm về công việc của anh để giúp cho cộng đồng.
You know, I like to be creative and make our service, bring our service to our customer. And so, you know, the first thing I did was mỗi thứ bảy, we open once a month on Saturday. Because again, people work and go to school. They can't come to our office, so we open Saturday once a month from 10 to 3. But what happened was when the pandemic hit, we stopped because we couldn't do gathering.
Right.
And so it was very difficult for me. But I remember during the pandemic, Julie, Office ko HUGH, we created, what I did was I had a simple idea. I thought about, you know, I don't know if you remember in March of that year, our whole country shut down.
Right.
And so marriages stopped and for like 3 weeks. And so I had to be creative somehow. So HUGH nghĩ là cái ticket booth đó. So I called the fairground and asked for some ticket booth. And then I called the HUGH Center, hỏi người ta xem you borrow cái parking lot được không? And so we put 6 ticket booths at the HUGH Center, and we were the first in the country to start weddings again.
Wow.
And so the first day I did the press conference, 10,000 people called that day. to make an appointment. Với cái service đó, Julie, mình làm almost 45 different states came to our office to get married. And
So then
it was
mỗi người
amazing.
trong từng mấy bang 40
Yeah,
mấy?
mình làm 9 tháng ở Hana Center.
Yeah,
9
vâng.
months of that year during the pandemic. And it was amazing. Staff, we ended up doing almost 17,000 marriage license and almost like 10,000 ceremonies. And so it was amazing. I mean, those are the creative ideas that I thought about.
Yes.
And it turned out to be one of the best things we've done, right, Julie? And then also auto indexing. So lúc mà cái real property document mà record xong rồi á, we have to index your name so you can search it. Well, what I did was I created an auto indexing. So what that means is hồi trước người ta phải key cái tên. Bây giờ á, once the document scan in, it's populate your name. So it speeds up the process from, we used to be 7 to 10 days. We view cái document được bây giờ less than 48 hours.
Wow.
And I was able to go from 17 staff to like 9 staff without laying off or firing anybody. Người ta retire hay là người ta promote. We just didn't fill the position, right, Julie?
Right.
And since we've done that, we've saved almost $7 million for taxpayers on just staffing. And so I'm very creative. OC Wedding app, you know, that's another way. The younger generation, right? They're so ahead of the game. It's amazing. I learned so much. And so we created something where they can go on their phone. Couples can go on your phone or your laptop and make an appointment. Actually pick a time and make
So
an
I'm going
appointment.
to try to remember all the great things you're doing. Trước nhất anh Hiếu nói đó là trong văn phòng của anh là có rất cái nhiều, you know, cái suy nghĩ mới, right? Very creative opportunity.
Right.
Trước nhất là mình mở là thứ Bảy cho giúp cho mỗi người, tại nhiều lúc là thứ Năm, thứ Hai tới thứ Sáu mình đi làm, but then thứ Bảy thì mình mới có thời gian. Thì anh nói mà mỗi tháng thì mở là một ngày, thứ Bảy là 10 giờ tới 3 giờ cho giúp cái người nào đi làm hay về đi học khó khăn đó. Thêm nữa thì anh có mấy cái app để cho cái wedding, phải không? So cái app đó khi mà là OC Wedding.
OC Wedding app, Julie.
OC Wedding app. So cái OC Wedding app thì họ làm cái application, phải không?
Yep. You can fill out your application, pick the location and the time you want to come in.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
it's
then
amazing.
lúc mà anh làm mấy cái có ý kiến mới đây thì nó làm cho nó làm giấy tờ mau hơn. Mình không phải chờ đợi lâu dài, giống anh nói là làm cái for the property, it's like instead of 7 days or anh làm tới có 2 ngày thì xong.
Thì đúng rồi, Julie.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can tell you this, quý vị mà vào office của Hiếu mà cần cái birth certificate, death certificate là take you less than 5 minutes. I promise you. And so we are very efficient. And in the future, I was telling you, Julie, we're going to create a program where mấy người business owner, người ta file fictitious business name, digitized signature, so they don't have to come in our office anymore. So I'm proud of that.
Well, thank you so much for all that you do, and Hugh. You know, as an Orange County Clerk Recorder, you keep records of so many things. But I know when we started the show talking about your family history and talking about that, you didn't know your father, you know, was alive.
Right.
Because you were told that he perished during the war and during his service to our country.
Right.
But tell me a little bit about your personal journey with your records or your family's record.
Right. So, yeah, one of the newspaper guy, OC Register, asked me one day, you're in charge of everyone's record in Orange County.
Yeah, vâng.
And you don't know who your father is. So I submitted my DNA through Ancestry. And it wasn't easy, Julie. It took almost 2 years.
Wow.
But eventually I got a first cousin. And so I reached out to her and I asked her, you know, if she can help me find my dad. And we were
Lúc
lucky.
đó mình có biết tên của ba?
No, I didn't know anything.
Wow.
So she reached out to her uncle, and he said that he might be my dad.
Okay.
And so at that stage, I talked to him on the phone,
Okay.
and I sent him a picture of my mother. And so from that stage, I hired a company to do a DNA between me and him. And you know what, Julie? Within a week of the DNA, it came out 99.995% that
So
he was my
was
dad.
your father.
Yeah. So I found my dad alive. He lives in Tennessee. And it's been a blessing, Julie, because I never had a dad. And so, ông hiền lắm. He's very nice. We text every day. We talk on the phone. And matter of fact, I just came back 3 months ago from visiting him in Tennessee. So I enjoy it. But unfortunately, Julie, you know, even though I found my father, last year I just lost my mother. So she died of cancer, and I haven't shared it much, but it's just sad that now I just have my dad.
You know, I think we're in an age where, you know, we lose our loved ones. I mean, I'm, you know, middle-aged now, and so we're going to a lot of funerals, and I think part of what you guys do with the Orange County Clerk Recorder is to even also record those death certificates.
Yes, we do.
You know, so I think, you know, I think a lot of what you do, you start from the beginning to the end of life, and everything in between.
And that's why we have all the important records.
Right.
And so, and that's why I want to make our service, our community, right, Julie? To make
so
it
now,
lifelong.
after, you know, your term,
yeah.
Do you have any other plans to help the community? Are there any other innovation that you have and ideas on where you want to put your effort? Because we're so grateful for you and all your wonderful ideas.
No, I appreciate that, Julie. No, you know what? I have 4 years coming up.
Okay.
And then my goal is to run for re-election for 4 more years. I'm still young. I still have a lot of energy. I still have a lot of ideas. So, you know, I'm going to do 4 years and then run 4 more years. And then we'll see where we're at from then. But I really enjoy what I do, so...
We're going to recruit you for something else.
I'm going to be here for a while, Julie.
Well, thank you, HUGH, for coming here. Is there any last words you want to say to our audience as we close out?
Yeah, I just, first I want to thank you, Julie, for giving me an opportunity to be here. Well, HUGH muốn nói quý vị là mà cần cái gì ở office của HUGH, just go visit our website, ocrecorder.com, or call our office 714-834-2500. And we're here to help. Anything you need. HUGH có nhiều người làm ở đó nói tiếng Việt Nam luôn. Nên quý vị mà cần cái gì á là gọi ở office với, and also anytime community mà muốn nói chuyện với Billy. Billy là director of outreach for HUGH, and Billy knows a lot. Billy Lê, yeah, and Billy biết nhiều người ở community, and so Billy is always there to help quý vị. Cảm ơn quý vị.
Cảm ơn anh HUGH một lần nữa. Julie, cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV theo dõi chương trình kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện đặc biệt với anh HUGH Nguyễn, đó là chánh luật sư của quận Cam. Hôm nay quý vị muốn hiểu thêm về chương trình, đó là OCCLERK.com. Số điện thoại nữa một lần nữa là 714-834-2500. Julie luôn luôn chúc quý vị rất nhiều sức khỏe và may mắn. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.